The following video has been approved by the Jetty marketing team. The video has been rated Jetty. The following video may not be suitable for all viewers. G'day mate, welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, Jetty, and today we have a lot of projects to cover, and the first thing I need to cover is, well, my research. There's going to be a lot of research. We're going to do a whole bunch of flashes of research because we've got a lot of research we've got to unlock, both in mech upgrades and in actual technology upgrades as well. Like this whole section of the science of the tech tree we can unlock. On top of that, this is going to be the episode of rebuilding. I have been saying for quite some time that a lot of things are temporary, and we're now at the point where this side of the map that seems to be awfully bare of resources is where we're going to go over and we're going to move to. This side was good to land at for early game because everything's nice and close. Now we're a little bit richer. We're a little bit teched up. We've got a little bit more to spend. This side is the side that I'm going to go over and we're going to start using, which means I need a lot of foundations. The good news is I have a little magical machine here that is producing foundations. Not a lot of foundations, but some foundations. And on top of that, I have a lovely mod. Now, you've seen some mods, okay? Some of the mods that we're using, well, I'm using, we have the CopyInserters mod. So, you know, it means when I paste something down, it automatically comes with both the inserters, well, both the sorters. Even though the mod's called CopyInserters, it's their sorters. But yeah, you've seen that. That's really, really handy. The other one I have is God Mode Toggle, which means if I press a button on the keyboard, which is backslash, I believe, I get instantly God Mode. Really, really handy as well. But one I haven't shown you guys yet is if I press Alt, it changes the build mode into... does not work with God mode on at the same time. Let's try that again. Nope. Hang on. This guy's a little bit of patience. That's it. So if I press Alt, I can then drag and then minus, plus, minus. They won't go any closer together. Probably because we're building on a bit of a curve. Yeah, I'm one tile off from getting a better build. Okay, thank you. But it means mass placing many assemblers became a whole pile easier with the, hang on, what's it called? It's called Advanced Build Deconstruct. On top of that, I have the No Advisor mod installed, so you haven't seen the Mr. Advisor come and tell us all sorts of helpful things this whole series. And we also have the Tomra Galactic Scale, which gives us our slightly increased goal of colonizing many stars. So with all that out of the way, we're going to do a time lapse. We're not even going to do a time lapse. We're just going to do a flash. We're going to do a flash because I'm 7 hours in this game and I figure I'm about to spend a good 3 or 4 hours on this side of the map doing a few things. We're going to need a whole bunch of foundation. I'm also probably going to go over and just colonize really quickly Australialis, yep. Number, what's that, 4? Because we are going to need silicon. And actually, no, I have to zoom out a little bit further to then click on that planet. Yeah, it's the only planet with silicon. Our other planet over here has titanium, and we are sending ships back and forth. And obviously, because we're now importing titanium, we have lots of things built, lots of things working. But on top of that, yeah, I need to clean up. This has been okay. This has got us up and started, but oil is built into a corner. The fluids are built in a corner. The fluids, to move them, are going to be a giant pain, but that's okay. That's something I will handle, and you guys don't need to see. Yeah, there's lots of... Let's be honest. There's lots of spaghetti. There's lots of this sort of mess that we need to tidy up. On top of that, I keep saying that this original workshop, because that copper was in the way, has been temporary. Well, it's now time to pack the whole thing up and move it. So, with all that said, I'm going to see you guys in, I don't know, a few hours after we get a whole bunch of side researches done. So, I'll see you guys in a bit. after research is done, and we haven't run out of research quite. We're doing the last one right now. And you know how I said it would take like 2 or 3 hours? It's taken a little bit longer. Please don't go back. Please don't go back and see how long it was before the research has started. But yeah, I've done a few things. Thank you. That is logistics carrier engine upgrade number 3. Okay. So we had our little like temporary silicon. Well, we're now importing silicon, so that's been taken care of. And we had our foundations, which we needed, and I needed a few of them. And the box is half full now, and that's doing well. And then, you know how we had the American district? Well, it was built into a corner, so I sort of rebuilt it. Slightly larger scale, slightly larger. Much more of America now exists up the top of the map. And I've worked out I've still got a... no, map view. No, we do 30 oil per second, so this should, once fully upgraded to tier 3 belts, should handle all the oil on the planet. And we got plenty of storage for our light oil, and our hydrogen we're obviously burning off in the form of to turn it into deuterium, and we've got some backup power plants just in case we need extra power, and we're stacking up deuterium. This is separate from that deuterium build, which is also half full as well. So, you know, there's definite work going on here, and we've now got sulfuric acid because we needed that en masse, and we've now got graphene, and we've also got the organic crystals because we needed to move them from the existing build to this build, and now I'm actually doing direct insertion for the plastic and have a separate plastic belt, which I'm really hoping, yes. And then I sort of built some new smelters. We'll go look at the new smelters. These are designed to go potentially up to a blue belt in length, which is all the way out there, and I built a main bus. I honestly built a main bus. Now, would I recommend a main bus? No, never. You can see that I've spent about 6 hours to get this done, and it's not been 6 hours worth of planning. It's been 6 hours of my my 7 little magical bots, which was I think 5 when I originally started, but I got a couple of decade upgrades, slowly getting everything done. They are the limiting factor. Now, I have done a couple of things, and there are advantages to a main bus, and I'll explain a couple of things. Would I ever do a main bus again? No. Okay, for your home base, it sort of makes sense, especially for your first time playthrough. And this is one of the reasons they're so popular in Factorio, is because it's infinitely expandable. It's very easy to see what your bottlenecks are and all that sort of stuff. But it is super time consuming. You know, I'm running mods, so putting down all these extra assemblers takes mere seconds, okay? And way less clicking, but it's the sheer amount of belts that need to go in, which actually means I've probably consumed a lot of iron I probably didn't need to consume to make belts. Because... where are we? Belts. That's iron. That's more iron. That's even more iron and graphene, so a touch of oil. Yeah, they're expensive. So I do want to go through and explain, like, I'm in the process of moving them all from where it was to over here. So we needed belt mark 1, which is iron, goes there to there, and gears. That'll get us belt mark 1. Belt mark 2 needs the added item of the green engine thingies, and then these boxes are going to be capped to a fairly low amount. And then a belt mark 3s, which we haven't had up until now, requires super magnetic rings, which I already had the tech for, but we hadn't automated them. I've now got them automated over here. And yes, this is one of the advantages of the bus. I can just bring in the materials I need and output the materials I need. So they require the green engines, which are being automated here, along with magnets, which means I had to put magnets on the bus, unfortunately, which is silly because magnets only go to... Where are we? Magnets literally go to 2 items. They go to the magnetic coil, so really early game tech, and then the super magnetic rings, so like really late game tech. Apart from that, they don't do anything else at all. And also need to bring in more graphene, which puts out the super magnetic rings. So yeah, they're up and running. Like another one, this crystalline component. Microcrystalline component only goes into CPUs. So rather than bring it onto the bus, bring it off the bus, it literally just does a U-turn and goes straight to that build. Anyway, so that should get us, no, after I hook up the one last belt, That should get our belt Mark 3s being made, which means then I need to potentially go through the bus and upgrade a whole bunch of things to Mark 3 belts. Yay! On top of that, sorters. So sorters are our circuit boards. Sorry, I was going to call them green circuits. They're circuit boards. No, I want that. Circuit boards and iron for our Mark 1. Our Mark 2 also requires engines. So we'll just have you have an input for engines. Make sure this is capped nice and low. That one's also capped nice and low. And then our tier 3 ones require some of those green engine things again. The levitation turbines. No, that's the wrong name. And then if I put that there, that should automatically come with the sorter. And yeah, we don't want to cap the tier 3s. The tier 3s, we want as many as we can. What are they called again? Electromagnetic turbine. Yes. Okay. And then same with assembler ones that requires iron gears and circuit boards. So we can just plug these in. And 1, 2, 3. And then have you output into the chest, which we're going to cap right the way down. And then actually I'm going to cap you to like 2. And cap you right the way down again, and then you'll need a third one. Now, I don't have the technology for Assembler Mark 3 yet, and I have the technology for Assembler Mark 2, but I should cover this really, really quickly, and it's a position I've taken, and a position I'm going to stick to. The Assembly Machine Mark 1 has a work consumption, so power rate usage of 270 kilowatts, and it has a production rate of 0.75, okay? The Assembly Machine Mark II has a power usage of 480 kilowatts and an assembly machine of 1. Assembly machine speed of 1. There we go. That's the words I'm looking for. So, if I take 480 kilowatts and I divide it by 4 and then I multiply it by 3, then if this machine was running at 3/4 speed, it would use 360 kilowatts. The problem is, this one is running at 3/4 speed and it only uses 270 kilowatts. So if I take 270 kilowatts and divide it by... Yeah, so if I take this one, which is running at 270 kilowatts for a crafting speed of 0.75, okay, and then if the numbers work perfectly and it was at a crafting speed of 1, it means it should be using 360 kilowatts. Not 480. So these are a lot more power hungry for a very, very small increase in crafting speed. For me, personally, it's not worth it. The tier 3 ones, they're definitely worth it. They still don't really make sense as far as the maths is concerned, but they make sense from a shrinking down overall build size sense. Okay, so that'll get our Assembly Machine Mark IIs, which require the processors along with the graphene. And that's really all I've set up more-wise currently. Now, other things I do need to set up: wind turbines, thermal power generators, mini fusion power stations, sorters, miners, definitely smelters. There is definitely a lot more I need to set up. Am I doing any of that now? No. Because we've run out of research. FTTT. Upgrades. Purple science, yellow science, but requires the purple science for me to get the yellow science one. Okay. Purple science, yellow science, but requires the purple science for me to unlock to get the yellow science one. Yeah. I can get solar sail life. Now, solar sails we haven't really covered yet, and I'm not going to cover them in this episode, but we can start this research branch. Same with ray transmission efficiency, which is how efficiently you bring power out of your Dyson Sphere or Dyson Swarm. Again, I'm not covering that during this episode, so I'm just going to leave that research. We can get cargo stacking size upgrade. So that is the only research left, and that only affects the Sorter Mark III. Oh wow, we can do the whole branch. Okay. That affects the Sorter... Do I have one in my inventory? Sorter Mark III. So they do 6 trips per second compared to the Mark II, which does 3 trips per second. And in every case up until now, they've carried 1 item at a time. The Sorter Mark III can get these upgrades where it carries 2 items, 3 items, 4 items, 5 items, and up to 6 items per trip. which actually cuts down the amount of power they use and makes them faster at the same time. So this is a research branch that, like, it's not super important, but it does add up. It does make them miles faster. On top of that, when they're actually maxed out, they're more efficient than a sort of Mark 1 in power, because they move 6 items at once for the, like 3 times the power draw, but they move 6 items at once. So yeah, we've unlocked our carrier engines all the way to the max level. So our drones, our tiny drones that we haven't built yet, move faster, along with the bigger vessels actually move faster between the planets. We have upgraded their carrier capacity. There we go, that's that very first research done. So we've unlocked the carrying capacity. So we went from carrying 20? That was 5, that was 5, that was 5, that was 10. So what's that? 25. Yeah, so we went from carrying 25 items per little drone up to 50, and the big drones went from carrying 300 items up to 400. No, 200 items up to 400 items. So the big ships are carrying twice as much. And again, purple science aren't go any further. Purple science there. Technologies-wise, purple, green, purple, graviton lenses. Okay. There was one more hidden. 2 more hidden. Yeah, I can do that one. Why can't I do that one? Because it has a prerequisite of purple. Okay. Alright, so we need to get purple science done. Now, purple science is processes, and it is the particle broadband. Okay, which is going to require us to have 3 more items on the bus. It's going to require us to make these crystal silicons, which only go 2 places. Okay, they only go into the accumulators and into the particle broadband. So I think I'm going to build them right here for the particle broadband. On top of that, it requires carbon nanotubes. Now, carbon nanotubes require titanium, and they also require graphene. So we're going to need a whole pile of chemical plants. Now, I am still handcrafting a lot of things, unfortunately. I am, unfortunately, handcrafting a lot of things because I haven't set up a proper workshop yet, or more for a lot of the bits and pieces. So I am still handcrafting machines. Not really anything else, just machines. On top of that, can we actually shift to get rid of all of those in one hit? Yeah, I know. Inventory exploded. It's fine. Actually, where's my magic box? There you go. You can go in there. Okay, I wanted circuits. Okay, and then shop. And this is dead. So this copper patch I was complaining about forever, finally gone. So this means all of this can get packed up. All of our science up here can get packed up. Basically, everything we've had before now can go. It all has no use anymore. Now, what else was I waiting for? I was going to grab some belt. All the belt we possibly have, because you're out of normal belt, are you? What? That line looks very full of normal belt. Oh, one bit of random crap got in the way. Cool. Alright, so yeah, I'm just going to let this burn through whatever resources it possibly has access to, and then eventually it will retire. Same with the silicon. We just killed off all the silicon because... yep, get rid of all of those. And yes, this is mods. This is the... hang on, let me double check the name. It is the Advanced Build and Deconstruct mod. Which is, like I said, sped up the process with so many things. Alright, so oil is... Hang on, I'm going to do a quick head count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Do I have refineries on me? Those ones. We can make 5. Alright, so this is not quite finished. And I'm going to need more sorters. There we go, another research done. Can I get the tier 3 sorters? Because this is pretty much what we've done. We've in every case I can, I've started walking around with the best materials I can and left a lot of the other junk alone, and we're just not dealing with it anymore. Tier 1 belts can go in there. You've started making tier 3 belts? No. Yeah, okay, we'll take that. And I'll grab a second lot of those just in case. And where's that crafting queue up to? 5. Okay, so my oil technically needs to be doubled still. Because technically when it gets to 30 long, that's only going to process 15 oil per second. So I still need to double the size of oil, which is going to be difficult. Very, very difficult. And power is suffering again because we've turned on everything. Where are those power poles? There they are. Yeah, it's borderline. It's borderline. F. Alright, let's just give it a sec whilst we wait for these to finish, and then we'll pop these down, and then we'll start planning out where we're going to put our next oil, our next nanotubes. Okay, now that they're crafted at least, we're just going to put these here like this, and if I press the Alt mode, we can then drag that along to there. And like that, it's planned, it's placed, it's built, it's wonderful. I do love mods. I really, really love mods. Okay, so that'll give us 29, I believe. Yeah, let's do a head count again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24, 26, 28, 30, 31. Okay, no, I can't count. That's one too many. Alright, we're going to pull off 1, which is perfect. And ideally, yes, they will fit. Okay, all the sorters are going to be wrong. But what we're going to do is, and this is how I want to plan things out, I want to be able to fill a whole line with materials. So you then become hydrogen, you then become light oil, refined oil, and then I should be able to build the other 30 on this side, because each refinery only uses a half an oil per second. So I should be able to double up our refineries, which means we know our refinery is going to stick out to about here, which means, unfortunately, I don't have any room inside the oil area to build nanotubes, so we're going to have to build it outside the oil area. So that means, hang on, where were we? You come down to that line, so as long as I'm below this line, we should be fine. Alright, and carbon nanotubes required, graphene and titanium. So that's the graphene line. We want a belt out at ground level to there. And I want to show you guys how I built all this and how it went together as easily as it did. So we're going to take a splitter. I'm going to hit tab a couple of times to make sure that it's in this orientation. So this is one belt on the low passing through and one belt on the high passing through. We then remove these belts. I put in my splitter right there and then run the top belt through and then run the bottom belt out. And that's going to do, it's going to do two things. One, it's going to split the resources, which is one of the things we want to achieve. At the same time, it automatically puts puts the belts in or off the bus, or the belts, yeah, in or off the bus at ground level, which is where they need to be so machines can use them. At the same time, it makes sure that all the resources, or the whole bus is, all the feeds into the bus are one level up. Yeah, so feed into the bus is one level up, and then coming out of the bus is also one level up, then it comes down to ground level for the actual feed. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Okay, the other thing we needed was titanium, which is that one, which can go... I don't think I can fit one there. Maybe I can. Yeah, one thing you're going to have to take note of is the splitters are unfortunately a very large item. So no, I can't fit one there. I couldn't fit one there. Belt. No, I can fit one there. Okay, so that goes in. That goes in. You come out. We're going to have you one level higher. All the way up to there, and then even though I don't need to, we're going to put in a splitter to bring this down to ground level, and then across the tile, and then big giant belt, and wind turbine, wind turbine, wind turbine. Oh, that's a little, that's the whole power network, all these just tiny wind turbines. Okay, fine. Alright. Alright, we want to do chem plant. Like so. Which is going to require a sorter in, and then it's also going to require an output belt, which will be here. And then before I get carried away with where things are going to go, I need to make sure that I actually put in my splitter beforehand. No. There we go. And then can I get out on that belt? No. No. No, that's going to run the things. Okay, so you need to go right one tile at least. Tree, go away. Cool. That's another research done. Alright, and then try this level. Yes. Okay, and where are you going to jump onto the bus? You are going to jump onto the bus. No, that lane's taken up. That lane's taken up. You're going to go, actually, unfortunately, just due to placement, here. Is that right? That looks to be right. No, I rotated it around the wrong way. Okay. Can I get one of those, please? That way. Yes, it needs to duck just under that oil refinery. Okay, and then U to U should be a straight shot. Apart from being outside building range, that's okay. And then, like that, we're done. Now, as you can see, by just the amount of construction tasks I have currently, this is... It takes a long time to build a bus. And this is why, one of the reasons I would really not recommend doing it. It is just so slow. Unlike Factorio, where a bus does really make sense, you're placing things by hand, so it happens at the speed that basically you can walk at, which is not terribly fast to start with, but you can definitely get upgrades same as you can in Dyson Sphere to make you walk faster. And you can place items per second way faster in Factorio than you can in Dyson Sphere. Okay, you can run belts way faster by hand. So yeah, and on top of that, later in the game you get robots, and you don't get a robot, you get a lot of robots. So if I hit Alt, we're gonna go oop, hang up there, and then we go Alt once, and then drag. And then we'll just wander around towards the end of where I want this build to go. Out of building range. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll walk back a little bit. So yeah, later in the game you get robots, and you don't get like 1 or 2 or 3, or in my case I've now got 7. You get as many as you want to build, which in most people's cases, mine included, is several hundred construction robots to get projects done quickly and in a hurry. So yeah, I would really not recommend that people build a bus in Dyson Sphere. Like I said, it sort of makes sense and it sort of works for your first planet, and this is why I wanted to demonstrate it, but would I ever do this again? Probably not. It should make setting up Purple Science a breeze, because this is the only item we needed to, well, this is one of the items we needed to add, and as you can see, it's been added fairly quickly. Oh, I need a power pole here. And now I gotta wait for the bots to go all the way that way to put down some belts, to come back and put this here. Okay, and then we'll follow the bots. Yeah, it's not quick. It's so not quick. Regrets what definitely did happen. Alright, that belt continues to... We'll stop it right there, because we've still got to work out what we need to do to make those. So it's going to be silicon, which we'll have to smelt on site, which is one of these belts. That one? That one. Okay, so we're going to have to bring down some splitter. Silicon. can stop the belt there. Bring you... Yeah, we'll just build it here. I wanted to leave a gap, but it's too late now. Okay, one... You're gonna make those. And then we'll wrap the belt out of that, across and back into here, which is going to be our particle broadband, which will have 2 more feed-in belts. One there and one there. And then particle broadband goes into just purple science. So we're going to build purple science literally right behind where the labs are currently. Okay, alright, so we want you to have sorters in, and I need to wait for those to be built. Come on, bots, before we can place the rest of this. Hit all once, and then click and drag. Yeah, the copy sorters mod is amazing, paired with the advanced construction deconstruction mod. Just changes the whole pace of the game. Okay, so that's going to give us our diamond crystal things. Then we need that belt to go to there, that belt to go to there. Production, another assembly machine right there. Your output, sir, is going to go to there. Up a couple of tiles, cross a couple of tiles, remove some more wind turbines, down a couple of tiles. Actually, no, they're going to labs. Remove, yes. Okay, alright. Particle broadband. Alright. Oh, and plastic. Okay. So we need in, out. And then these take 8 seconds. So I'm going to want a number of these. I don't have my own video on purple science to ratio in front of me, so we're just going to guess, honestly. I'm going to go with that's probably overkill. I want to say it's like 11 or 10.8. 10.8 sort of rings a bell. No, we haven't had a grid line move yet. Okay. You got placed before. Okay, you and you got placed before the belts got there. Nope. Press Alt and then hang on a second before you start moving your mouse. Okay, that'll do us. Alright. Power is going to go between you two, and then between you two, and then between you two, and I guess we're going to throw a power pole on the end so everything's powered. Alright, so nanotubes, which are here. Okay, first off, Mark 3 belts now from ground level to here, and we're going to throw that in there. And what was the other item? Plastic. They may involve a cut for me to get plastic down here, because I'm assuming plastic comes onto the bus. Plastic. Okay, it's that one. Mark 3 belt time out to here, and then what I want to do is I need to work out exactly where this has to go. So it needs to go one tile to the side of that, because these are such that the splitters are such a large object, you can't put anything right beside them. And then that goes in there, that goes in there. So that should give us that item. Labs. Cool. I needed some labs. Can I get labs? Just one. Alright, I need more glass. Alright, so it should get particle broadband kicked in. Yes. Excellent. Alright. particle broadband, and processors. Processors we have on the main bus. So again, we're just going to drag that belt out a little bit. This particular science pack takes 10 seconds. Research. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I know I need 5, but we will put 1 there. So I've got things lined up. Actually, no. I need all back 1 tile so I can slide processors in the front. Actually, is it 1 processor? No, it's 2 processors to 1 particle broadband. So perfect. So we want the processors on the closer belt. Alright, processors are that yellow one. Belt. Yeah, from there to here somewhere. And there. Down to there at ground level. And then try and line up A with B. That's half the challenge as well, because you can't build the belts backward. They have to be put down in the correct direction. And that goes in there. That goes in there. Voila. That should give us some purple science. Come on, bots. Come on, bots. We're so close. So close. Like, we have serious power problems, but we'll get to those in a second. Alright, in. You make purple. You make purple. We can now bring purple science out and across and join our little science bus. That goes to there. That goes to there. And that goes to there. Nope, that's definitely the wrong item. That item, that item. And with that done, I'm going to go find some extra labs and put down a new little science build so we can actually process some of these labs, some of these science packs, and we'll be right back. Well, we hit those labs face on. Okay, so we needed 5 there. We need 5 in that pile as well. And then I think... how much belt do I have? About 250 each line. So let's just run a decent amount of belt out in front. It's going to take a second for the bots to put it down. And then power. Again, if we hit the alt mode, I can drag the wind turbines, which does make placing them way easier. Okay. So I think this should be our new location for our labs. Now because it's now so... We've now got 4 packs, it means we're definitely going to have to wrap them around the corner. Like that. And you know what? We're just going to throw all the labs at the problem. I have no idea how well this is going to work. There to there, thank you. A real power pole in the corner. Belt's not quite done. Turbines are definitely not done. Come on, little robots. Little robots chase the big robot. Alright, that should get the belts probably done. All the purple science is running. I love that. I love that. Like, is that a nice screenshot or what? Alright. And then... set you to actually do research, and off and away we go. Now, I do have a couple more yellow sciences we need to fill out, but it does mean that now we can access purple science. So the very first purple science I need to do is the mecha core, and then we'll have to knock out the mecha core and access a new technology. But it also means that now we're definitely like a space age organized-ish, I was going to say race, but we're a robot. I don't know whether we fall under race. But it does mean that here we are, 5 episodes in. We've neatened everything up. I need to go back and destroy everything, which is something I'm definitely going to do off camera. You guys don't need to see that. Remove all the old. Now we have all the new. At the same time, crap, they're all running. Lack of item. Okay, well, there's nothing I can do about that. At the same time, I do need to... What else do I need to do? I do need to get through new tech, obviously. On top of that, there are a couple of things I didn't automate. I probably also should do something about power. So, I do really want to automate the particle container because I'd like to start making more planetary logistics stations, which now we have everything automated, apart from the particle containers, along with the interstellar logistics station, because again, we have everything automated except for the particle containers. I'd also love to get some orbital collectors, except we'd be missing the thrusters, reinforced thrusters, along with the accumulators. So I think next episode we're going to be coming back. We're going to be spending a lot more time doing automation and a lot less time cleaning up, because that's basically what I've been doing for the last 6 hours, give or take, roughly. So I think next episode, yeah, we'll do I have any of that on me? No. Fill in some more of the water. We have made our way. I can't see the construction lines. Build mode on? No. Build mode on. Then go to map view. Does that help? No. I guess we've made it around a quarter of the way to the planet so far, roughly. Actually, that is a quarter. Smelters to there, that is a quarter. That would be a half. So out to here would be halfway. I figure we're going to make it halfway around the world with this bus. At least halfway around the world with this bus before we get everything finished. But yeah, I do want to spend next episode doing a whole bunch more automation because, as I said, this bus method, it honestly doesn't work. It's very expensive. It's very time consuming. It does make making things or making new production lines easy, but at the overall expense of, well, 1, resources, and 2, time. And time and if I hit F11, nope. Shift F12. Time and PC performance are the two resources that are not infinite. Everything else is pretty much infinite. So, yeah, next episode, I want to spend some more time finishing off this, but then I also want to get the planetary towers up and running and automated because they are much more practical for what we want to do and much more practical for planetary exploitation. Because obviously we have a gas giant. We haven't even touched that one yet. I also have... This is the one doing silicon? Yes, this is the one doing silicon. I barely touched it. I just grabbed some silicon, okay? We want to... I definitely want to start scaling up. Let's put it that way. So, I want to grab some planetary towers. Also need to fix our power problem, which means... we want to start making some mini fusion reactors, which require deuterium fuel rods. The good news is I have buckets and buckets and bucket loads of those deuterium, the deuterium itself. And I also have the titanium alloy and the supermagnetic rings are both automated now. So we should be able to jump through everything else in the next episode fairly quickly, fairly, yeah, if I do some planning and stuff, we should be able to knock out things in a hurry. But I'm going to leave all that for the next episode. With all that said, I do hope you guys have enjoyed watching as always. If you're new here, can you do me a favor? Can you click that subscribe button on your way out? Lastly, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next episode. All right, bye.